Hello, everyone. Welcome to another Giles and the Goalie podcast recap here tonight. A big win for the Minnesota Wild. They win a 2-1 over the Chicago Blackhawks in the United Center. And I can't believe that actually happened after the first period. The Wild were just lifeless in the first period. The shot attempts were off the charts bad. I think like 29-11 or somewhere at the end of the first. Those were the shot attempts, and it just bad play from the Minnesota Wild. They turned it around in the second. They were very fortunate to get out of that first period down 1-0. Once again, they were able to cash in on their opponents not being able to put them away. Like we saw Tuesday night against Calgary, although tonight the Wild were able to get the extra 2 points and stay ahead of the Chicago Blackhawks in the standings. The Blackhawks, with a win, would have gone over the Wild in the standings, and that would have pushed Minnesota down to last in the Central Division, not the place the Wild wanted to be on January 10th. They somehow got out a win in the United Center. And really, as asked on Twitter, I just don't get it. I don't get this team right now. One period they can look god awful, and then the next they look like they want to be out there. They can be on the ice with these guys, and I think this is just what we're going to see from here on out. I think we're going to see good and we're going to see bad. We're not going to get a long stretch of either. We're going to get a little of both, and I think we just have to deal with it. And you just hope that at some point, preferably in the spring, they can put a long string together and go far. But right now, the Wild are holders of a wild card spot. They sit at 50 points in the last wild card spot, which would get them a matchup with the Vegas Golden Knights in the playoffs. But back to tonight's game. Of course, Brent Seabrook is a goal scorer for the Chicago Blackhawks to open the scoring tonight. Brent Seabrook scratched for Chicago last night in Ottawa. The Blackhawks won 8-2, not 7-4 like I said last night, but it just how very wild to have Seabrook score the opening goal. I know the Wild challenged for offsides, and it was a questionable call, but I thought it was the right call still, I guess. But and then you get the delay of game penalty. That, to me, just reeked of the Blackhawks could have put the Wild away then and there. If the Blackhawks score on that power play to make it 2-0 early in the game, then it's over. The Wild are toast. But fortunately, that is not the case. The Wild were able to hold on, and I mean, they got lucky again. Jonas Brodin just takes a slap shot from the point and deflects off Tommy Wingels right into the net. Anton Forsberg playing a pretty good game for Chicago on Wednesday night here for the Blackhawks in relief of Corey Crawford, who I'm sure would have stopped every shot, not just the couple that got by Forsberg tonight. And then a terrific pass from Mikael Granlund to spring Mikko Koivu on a break for the Wild that ends with Ryan Suter putting one into the net. Kind of picks a corner. Really, really surprised at Suter picking the corner there. Incredible shot, but it makes it 2-1. The Wild are able to hold on and get the win. Another terrific night from Mikael Granlund. His passing right now is up there, tops in the NHL. Like, if you're not seeing him every night, you wouldn't notice, but watching him every night make these kind of plays is incredible. And I kind of threw it out on Twitter. I should have phrased it better, but if he had a real big-time goal scorer on the opposite wing, just imagine the amount of points he would be putting up. right now. Not to diss on Jason Zucker, who is going to give you 25, 30 goals a year, but if Granlund had a guy who could score 40, 50 goals every year, that point total would be very incredible. But huge shout out to Granlund tonight. Every night I just become more and more impressed with him. And just 2 years ago we were ready to write him off, and now here we are, and he's been the Wild's best player arguably for nearly 2 years. You remember when John Torchetti took over from Mike Yeo, Mikhail Granlund got going, and he has been going ever since. So really almost 2 years now Granlund has been the Wild's best player, and it's not even close. Devin Dubnyk, sharp tonight. Say made a gif early in the first. He was kind of frustrated with the Wild's play, and maybe in the room between the period he had some words to say, because he has been pretty visible in terms of being displeased with how the Wild have played. But a solid performance from him tonight, and I would expect more of that from him moving forward. But again, I can't stress how big this win was for the Wild. They defeated the Blackhawks, who could have jumped over them in the standings, and pushing the Blackhawks a little bit further down. So the Wild probably get a gift basket from the rest of the Western Conference here in the next couple days. Wild do get a couple days off. They're off till Saturday when they host the Central Division leading Winnipeg Jets at XL Energy Center. So that'll be a big-time game. But, yeah, I think I kind of got it all here. Just checking the social media for some questions. We got Aaron Kelly, loyal listener of the Giles and the Goalie podcast. Did Boudreau find the secret to motivate this team, or is it because it's the hated Hawks that the Wild seem to play pretty well? Well, I don't doubt that Boudreau can, maybe push a button and find a motivational factor for a period, but I would like to see him maybe push some buttons and motivate this team for a longer stretch of play. But it's usually a good bet to just say because the Chicago Blackhawks were the team on the other side of the rink tonight, the Wild got going. I think they had some words for each other in between periods and said, hey, this is the Blackhawks, we have to do better than this. Obviously, hockey players use a bit more colorful language than what I did just there, so you can add some expletives in there. But I have to imagine that was what happened in between periods, because really it was a god-awful first period. Not trying to sugarcoat it, but it was awful. Jason Zucker, he is kind of the player who kind of stuck out to me in the wrong way again tonight. Obviously, Granlund was dishing out some great passes to him tonight. Couldn't connect. You'd like to see him snap the streak here pretty quick. I think he's up to, I don't know, it's been quite a while since he's scored a goal, so you'd like to see him snap this streak. And then Marcus Foligno, what a horrible night. At least Zucker was making some kind of offensive productivity out there. Marcus Foligno was just not doing anything productive. He was flat-footed in the first couple shifts. As I noted, he almost tripped up Patrick Kane as he was flying by, and then he gets the hit on, I think it was Jan Rudda there in the third, and then he never saw the ice again. And I was not terribly displeased with Foligno in the first quarter of the year, and here in the second quarter of the year, I have been quite opposite on him. I have been very displeased, very uninspired, and it's not good that the Wild are locked into his contract for another 3 years at Eric Holla type money. I'll just put that out there. So that's what I got for you tonight. I will be back with a game preview of Saturday on or for the Winnipeg Jets Minnesota Wild matchup at XL Energy Center. So you can check that out here on the YouTube channel Saturday. If you haven't yet, do check out our most recent podcast episode 132. We had Dan Myers of Wild.com join the show. You can also find that show on iTunes and SoundCloud. And if you are an iTunes listener, do drop us an iTunes rating. We do love those. So that will wrap it up for me tonight. I think I have wasted more than enough of your time. So thank you for watching, and we will talk to you Saturday. Later.